I'm Yogendra Pratap. I'm the editor of Auto Today, and driving is my life. I drive for a living, and I drive for fun, and I drive because I'm passionate about driving. And believe me, I've seen numerous times that seatbelts have saved lives. You should always buckle up like I have right now.
So picking up from where Yogen left off, we're going to tell you a little bit more about where you should be sitting in the car, why you should be sitting there, and why it's so important to wear the seatbelt no matter where you're sitting. So first, before we get into this, belt up. Now once you've belted up and you're all safe and sound, the next thing you're going to want to do is find the right driving position. And in the first part of this video, we're going to talk about how to go about finding that right driving position that gives you the correct command of the road and enough comfort on the inside, of course. So we'll start with where your legs should be and where your seat should be. So you start by fully depressing the clutch and the accelerator and seeing if your knees are fully extended, as they are in my case right now. Then you start rolling up the seat and get a little bit of movement. So now that you found the right seating position, your next thing is to find the right tilt angle for your steering wheel. So how are you going to go about that? So now finding the right steering wheel position is a little bit tricky. So what you're going to want to do is set the steering wheel to a height that you feel is right and check by breaking your wrists over the top of the steering wheel. This is the ultimate test to find out whether your steering wheel is in the right place and that you have the right amount of articulation on both sides. Another thing you're going to want to check for is that you can read your meters clearly and have a good line of sight across the bonnet and onto the road once you're done. Now, having spent most of my life around cars and people traveling with me, one of the most common misconceptions I've heard is that you don't really need to wear your seatbelt in the back seat. Backseat people are the safest. Actually, this is a very popular misconception. You need to wear your seatbelt in the back seat even more importantly than you do in the front seat. Let me break this down for you. When you're traveling in a car moving at 60 kilometers an hour, you are essentially moving at 60 kilometers an hour, but you're not connected to the car. In the event of a crash, the car comes to a halt 60 to 0 in 1 second. And at that moment, you're still traveling at 60 kilometers an hour with the only thing to stop you is this back of the seat. You do not want to be going into the back of the seat at 60 kilometers an hour is something I can tell you for sure. So even if you're in the back seat, always remember to belt up and be the better guy.